Hello there, and welcome to something a little bit different today. It has been quite some time since we have seen armor on this channel, hasn't it? But recently I found a campaign on the Steam Workshop that so far I really do like. I like the aesthetic of it, the vibe of it, and I like how the missions are made and built, and I really wanted to share that with you. So the campaign that we are going to play is called Purgatory. It's made by Sean Pablo. And, well, it's really good. Let me tell you what it's about. So, basically, it takes place in September, October 1997. The Chernarus movement of the Red Star, the Chedaki, they are trying to split off part of the country. And, well, they have seized forcefully control of the easternmost region, the Chernarus region that we have here in Arma, boldly declaring the formation of a breakaway state, the Republic Zagoria. Their campaign has unleashed a wave of violence against Chernorussian citizens, sparking a humanitarian crisis as hundreds of refugees flee to neighboring regions in search of safety. In a decisive response, the President of Chernarus has deployed 12,000 troops, mobilizing the nation's army to reclaim control. The mission is clear: crush the insurgency, restore government authority, and dismantle the separatist threat once and for all. However, as we learned during the campaign, it seems that the big neighbor to the north, Russia, is also involved in this, and, well, things do heat up. So, with that all said, let's jump ahead into the first two missions of this campaign. The first mission is really just a short introduction, but then in the second mission you will see how interesting this can be. And as I said, I really do like the aesthetic and the vibe of it. And, well, I think Arma 2 had a very promising backstory that was never really fully explored. So, let's jump right in, and I'll tell you more about that as we play the campaign. Alright, off to the briefing for the first mission, which is on the runway. Friday, October the 10th, 12 o'clock. We are playing as Lieutenant Arkady Kucherov, and, well, Yeremenko and Kucherov are standing on the runway. 2 hours ago, they were loading their equipment into the helicopter back at the regiment in Kirovograd, and now they had landed in the middle of a war zone. Yeremenko shields his squinting eyes with his hand. If it gets any brighter, I might go blind. It's hot, Kucherov agrees, as he takes a breath of the hot air. It's never been this hot in October. We better check in before anyone sees us just standing around, Yeremenko says, as he lifts his bag from the tarmac. Yeremenko was 26 years old, working in his father's hardware store. He was called back to army service as a platoon leader when the war broke out, just like Kucherov. You'll go ahead. I need to get the rest of my gear, Kucherov says, waving off Yeremenko, who's already started walking towards the hangar. And here we learn something about the war that is currently happening in South Zagoria. Well, many people make this little mistake. They assume that Chernarus, the map of the map that we had in Arma 2, and now we do have it in Arma 3 for quite some time due to the CAP mod, they assume that this is basically the whole country. But what is called Chernarus here in the game is basically just a small part of Chernarus. This is just the region of South Zagoria, and, well, some ethnic Russians living in this region want to join it up with North Zagoria, which is somewhere to the north in Russia. It is, well, when did Arma 2 came out? That was, I think, in 2008 or 2009, somewhere around that time. And isn't it interesting how this game showcased something that we would see play out later in Georgia, that we would see play out in Ukraine, where Russia is using Russian nationals in a neighboring country to stir unrest, to fuel separatist movements, and to try to join that country to itself, or part of it. So, in the decade since the end of the Soviet Union, The Republic of Chernarus has stood without civil strife. All of that changed a month ago, when Zagorian separatist CHDKZ in Chernarus, CHDKZ that stands for, I'm not going to pronounce it, but it's basically the banner of the movement of the Red Stars, something like that. They're basically, well, very nostalgic when it comes to the Soviet Union. So, when Zagorian separatists in Chernarus, led by a man only known as Miroslav, rebelled against the government army. Within days they take over the country's easternmost province and proclaimed an independent nation, Republika Zagoria. An increased violence targeted against the Chernorussian minority living in South Zagoria resulted in hundreds of refugees fleeing to the neighboring province. Here in the photo we see separatists advancing past a disabled Chernorussian armored vehicle during the initial fighting in Chernogorsk, down here. The president of Chernarus immediately ordered the deployment of 12,000 troops to South Zagoria. The task of the Chernorussian army is to restore government supremacy, disarm the CHDKZ, and re-establish law and order. Counteroffensive. In mid-September, the operation to restore peace and order began. The Chernorussian Air Force mounted attacks on the CHDKZ positions, followed by a full-scale counteroffensive by the ground forces, effectively pushing back the Zagorian separatists and forcing them to withdraw to the larger cities and mountains. The offensive had already retaken half of the territory lost in early September. In the picture we see the 84th Motor Rifle Regiment moving into South Zagoria. The Ministry of Internal Affairs has deployed internal troops, MVD, to restore public order and security. Our task for this mission is to check in inside the hangar. Upon arrival, all members of the Federal Forces must check in at the entry station inside the hangar. You will be told where to report and where to find transportation upon checking in. It's only me and my squad, so let's just go ahead and see how this looks. Be prepared to pause the video because the text will be scrolling fast. September 1997, Zagorian separatists in Chernarus rebel against the government army. Within days they take over the country's easternmost province and proclaim an independent nation, Republika Zagoria. The army is mobilized. 2 weeks later, the operation to restore peace and order is launched. The Chernorussian Air Force begins the bombardment of the separatist positions and a full-scale ground offensive is launched. Initially the operation is successful and the army takes back more than half of the country. The separatists retreat to the mountains and cities to escape the superiority of the regular army in open terrain. The MVD, a military unit under the Ministry of the Interior tasked with restoring and maintaining public order and security, is deployed to clean up pocket of resistance behind the front lines. Number 1. Arrival. October 10th, 1997. I wish the author made that text stay on screen a little bit longer. 20 days since the operation to restore peace and order began. Location: Vyborg airfield. Chernorussian held territory. Orders: all military personnel must check in at the entry station upon arrival. So that is what we are going to do right about now. Oh, come on. There we go. Sean Pablo's Purgatory. And immediately, I like the look of this. Act 1, welcome to the Purgatory. You see immediately that there are a lot of details visible here. A lot of stuff placed by the campaign's author. We see a busy airfield, basically, a busy military airfield. We see combat and transport helicopters. We see people going about their day, or standing guard, or something like that. Fighter bombers in the hangars. This is a nice detail that the side or the back of the helicopter is opened up like this. By the way, this helicopter, the Mi-8, until you see one of them in real life, you really don't appreciate how big they are. in the game here. If you just see it in the game, it doesn't look that huge, but in real life they are quite big. They are really, really big. I was on vacation in Croatia a few weeks ago, and one of these things flew over my house at low altitude. First of all, they are loud as all hell. Well, I guess they are in-game too. But also, they really are big, and you don't appreciate it until you see it close up in person. Okay, I think we have to go into this hangar here. Yes, we do. So let's go over there and check in as we are told to do. But yeah, I really like all the little details on display here. Guards walking around. He's standing there. This guy operating something. A waiting area with some snack machines or drink machines. Really nice. So a lot of attention to detail on display. That's always a big plus. Hello there. I'm told to check in.
Papers, please.
Here you go.
Lieutenant Arkadich Kucherov, 4th Company, 2nd Battalion, 103rd Motor Rifle Brigade. Welcome to South Zagoria. You are to report to Lieutenant Colonel Romanov for a briefing. Just out of the hangar, 2nd building to your left.
The physics in armor, always funny. No idea why the papers decided to jump around like that, but yeah. That's just armor sometimes. So, next task, report to Lieutenant Colonel Romanov. After checking in, you have learned that your orders are to report to Lieutenant Colonel Romanov, 2nd Battalion's commanding officer, for a briefing in the nearby barracks just outside the hangar. So outside the hangar, left, 2nd building. Okay, no problem. Yeah, as I said, I really do like what I see. I like the... You know, the aesthetic of that gear on display here, this post-Soviet 90s stuff. I mean, look at this. And now imagine that even today, some poor Russian soldiers are running around with stuff like that. Ah well, we have to go over there into that building. And once again, lots of details on display. Few guys standing around, enjoying the day. These guys standing at parade rest. We see a few tanks, really nice. Always happy to see tanks. Hello. And this is the building where we are to report for a briefing.
All right, let's get to it.
With the 84th Motor Rifle Regiment advancing south to Chernogorsk, the CHDKZ have resumed their attacks in the central part of the region and have inflicted high casualties among the internal troops by attacking checkpoints and ambushing patrols, especially around the Novy Sobor outpost. In fear of the growing threat in the center and north, the commander of the internal troops, Captain Kowal in Novy Sobor outpost, has asked for reinforcements. Our unit, 4th Company, 2nd Battalion, will be stationed at Outpost Lesnoy in Novy Sobor, where we will be helping a company of internal troops from the 24th Special Mobile Police Battalion Zagoria with patrolling and disarming bandits. Oh, you will once again have to probably pause the video to read that last part. But I can't really read it out any faster than that. Okay.
One last thing, gentlemen. Right now it is hard to tell who is friend and who is foe around here. Both the Chernarussians and the Zagorians have armed themselves to defend their homes against the separatists. it is of most importance that you understand that not all Zagorians are rebels. These are our people, and we're here to protect them. They are a part of this country as much as you and I. I trust that each and every one of you will make sure your men behave accordingly. You do not represent yourself, but the flag you bear and the institution you serve. Dismissed.
So, we are not to do any evil stuff. But yeah, this campaign does get a bit heavy on some topics.
I was starting to think I had to court-martial you, Lieutenant.
You won't get rid of me that easy, Captain. Is the situation really that bad in Novy Sobor?
Yeah, that's the whole reason they are taking us away from the rest of the battalion. Listen, we'll talk more later. Right now, I have to go over some of the details with the Lieutenant Colonel. I suggest you both brief your platoons and get some rest before we leave tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you a lift. Come with me, Kucherov.
Okay. I like these floating overlays telling me who is who. This is Lieutenant Yeremenko in front of me.
Looks like we're going to the ringer, my friend.
Yeah, it seems so.
I think we're taking this car. Yeah, we are.
It must be really bad in Novy Sobor if the command is diverting us to help the internal troops.
Yeah, this was definitely a coordinated and planned strategy. They must have hid when the initial forces came.
You mean that they waited for the internal troops to arrive?
They face unprofessional soldiers and have the chance to harass the main force supply line. I say they're smarter than we think.
Then it's a shame that we have to go. Couldn't they have sent the 5th or 6th Company? I really don't feel like leaving here in a body bag.
Yeah, me neither. It looks like we will be going to a very active region or area.
Why is the commander so eager to protect the Zagorians anyway? They're the whole reason we are in this fucking mess.
If the Sigorians think we're favoring our own people or treat them unfairly, there will only be more rebels to deal with. We best stick to his orders.
Back at base, there are rumors that the Russians are the ones that armed the GHD-KZ.
I've heard such rumors. Even if they are true, we shouldn't be heard talking about such matters in front of the men. It will not be good for morale.
You're right, but it would explain why they have been so coordinated.
It would actually. If they are getting outside help from the other side of the border, it would explain why they have so many weapons too. Oh, look at this motor pool. Nice.
All right, we're here.
And that was the first mission. As I said, the first one is just a short introduction, so we'll be going straight to the second one. After receiving your orders, you briefed your men about the coming tasks. Troubling thoughts gave room for little sleep, and your slumber was eventually interrupted by the morning sun piercing through the barrack windows. Shortly after breakfast, the company left for Novy Sobor at 0600 hours. So, let's go over to the briefing for the mission that comes after this one. First, we learn a bit more about the ongoing Chernarus offensive. It is now Saturday, October the 11th. Fighting near Kozlovka resumed yesterday, the 10th of October, as the 1st and 2nd Battalion from the 84th Motor Rifle Regiment advanced on the northwestern outskirts of Chernogorsk. So if we zoom out a bit. The offensive is currently ongoing. Chernogorsk is in enemy hands and the 84th Motor Rifle Regiment is pushing towards it, and there has been some fighting in this area near Kozlovka. Not too far away from us. Stiff resistance offered by the separatists is making progress slow. However, with the arrival of the 103rd Motor Rifle Brigade, it is expected that the Chernarus will take the city within days. In the picture we see the 4th Artillery Battalion shelling separatist positions near Chernogorsk. So, Novy Sobor, that's where we are. After a night's rest at the airfield, the company set out to the front line the following morning to reinforce the 4th Company from the 24th Special Mobile Police Battalion. They were situated in a little village called Novy Sobor, a few miles east of the airfield. The internal troops had been here for 2 weeks and have already had several engagements with the Chedaki on the South Road and near Black Forest. A devastating attack on a checkpoint to the south caused the unit's highest casualties. The checkpoint had to be abandoned. Checkpoint here in Mogilevka. Without spoiling too much, I can tell you that we will see this conflict in this campaign play out from multiple perspectives. So later in the campaign we will learn firsthand what happened here at Mogilevka. Now, our task right now is to wait for orders. You have arrived in Novy Sobor, and since our arrival, Captain Rudenko had been at the command post. You were ordered to wait for his return. Let's go. Two, between Sobor and Staroye. October the 11th. "21 days since the operation to restore peace and order began. Location: Novy Sobor. Chernarus held territory. Now let's see.
We're stuck here in these mountains fighting the rebels. 2 weeks ago our BTR drove into an ambush. We had 9 dead and 2 wounded. Yesterday we lost 2 guys to a sniper. We poured fire into the sniper's position until our platoon commander finally got 3 mortar rounds to take care of him.
Man, sounds like you guys had it rough.
They fight like hell. If you go beyond the wire, you'd better keep your heads down.
Sounds promising. And seems like that guy has had a rough day. Oh yeah. Our task now is to wait. And we might be waiting for Rudenko.
I have orders for you.
Yeah. Let's talk to him.
Lieutenant, we have a situation. We've reports of armed men entering a small village just east of here. Your orders are to evict them peacefully if possible, but if force is required, use it with restraint. If that happens, Pioneer 2 will quickly be dispatched to your position to support you. Any questions?
No, sir.
Good. Gather your men. There are some extra magazines and grenades in the barn. But don't take too long. There's a BTR waiting for you at the east end of town. You'll ride with them to the village. Dismissed, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can find a little bit of ammunition, additional ammunition in the barn. So let's go there and have a quick look. There's a crate here on the table. Yeah, here we go. I'll stick to the rifle that I'm given for now. But I am gonna take a few more magazines and grenades. And another smoke grenade, yes, why not? Another 2 grenades and fill the rest up with magazines. That's good. Okay, I think we are ready. I have to link up with my guys. Gather squad, Captain Rudenko has given you orders to search through a village to the southeast, where there have been reports of militia activity. Round up your squad before heading out on the patrol. You'll have time to brief them during the ride to the village. Here are my guys. We have a helicopter flying overhead. Very awesome. Guys, you're coming with me.
Enough standing around. There are militants in a village nearby, and we're going to kick them out. Medic, I need you too.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody's with me. We are to board the transport. That transport is up on the road. When you're finished with your gear, board the BTR waiting in the east end of town to start the patrol. Right, let's go up there.
Колонну в шахматном порядке.
Getting behind me, guys. So, I have a few AT soldiers, I have a machine gunner, looks like 2 riflemen, and then our medic. That's a good combination. That's a good combination indeed. And once again, we can see a lot of attention, a lot of little details placed by the mission maker. This looks like a military outpost. Very nice. China Russian flag up, nice. I think that's our BTR right there. So let's go and get in. A few minutes later. We have a new task.
Squad, listen up. There are reports of armed men in the village east of here, and our orders are to relieve them of their weapons and send them home.
Sir, what if they resist?
Then we will use lethal force. Our orders are to remove them from the village. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Let's have a quick look. No, I can't open the map right now. Okay.
Hey, Lieutenant. My gut tells me those fuckers are there waiting for us. 2 BTRs were knocked out by rockets earlier this week, so if we see anything suspicious, you guys haul your ass out to protect us.
Don't worry, driver. We're in this together.
Alright, you guys get ready, we're almost there.
Okay. We are ready. Don't worry. I just hope that the heavy machine gun that is on this thing can support us a little bit. These things are so cramped, aren't they? Especially once you have to get out through the very tiny side hatch. Road ahead looks clear for now, which is very good. Very good indeed.
Shit! Smoke up ahead.
Yeah,
you guys get out here. We'll scout ahead.
Okay. Looks like we're getting out a bit early. Because there's smoke right ahead of us.
Двигайся в квадрат 08206.
Pioneer 1 to Poker. We can see smoke coming from the village. We're gonna take a look. Over.
Copy that, Pioneer 1. Proceed with caution and keep me updated.
Let's follow the BTR.
Шеренга.
Form up in a line. Shots fired. We are currently here. I think I'll use this hill to attack towards the village. So come this way, guys. There's the village, there are the houses. Our BTR is just sitting there for now. I just hope it doesn't suddenly take a rocket. Wouldn't want to lose it right at the beginning of the engagement here. But we can't just advance across the open ground like this. I need to have a little bit of cover. These trees here will help with that, and everybody be ready for contact. We don't quite know what we're up against, so we better be careful. My guys should follow me. I don't see anything moving in the village.
This is Cabin 3. We're taking small arms fire from the hill. We need reinforcements. Over. Copy that, Cabin 3. Reinforcements are on their way.
And suddenly there is contact.
All right, everyone. We need to secure that village.
Movement. Armed men. Oh, I need to get down. No idea where the shots were coming there. I think we got him. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. And suddenly it's getting very loud. Got that guy. Back there. Two. Get behind the wall there. There's an enemy machine gunner. We need to drop him fast. That guy can certainly cause problems.
Copy that, Pioneer 2. We're positioned on the hill. When you get...
Got another guy down? No. I need to make sure that my guys are not walking out into the open. So move there. The APC is helping. Very nice. I like to hear the sound of that heavy machine gun. Okay, the main resistance seems to have been defeated. I think we might start to move in. Yeah, I think we can try that. Everybody follow. Let me reload. We have one injured. I want him to patch himself up a little bit. And let's move in and check out the village. And we do have reinforcements arriving. That's good. Maybe we'll wait a moment before we move in. Can't hurt. Yeah, a BMP arrived. And another BTR. I'm not sure if it's the same BTR. Maybe it is our BTR. But we now have a BMP as well. That's good. Let's slowly keep moving in. There are still enemies in there. We have to be a little bit careful. Down. Somebody is shooting a grenade launcher. I think they are shooting at the BTR, hoping to knock it out. That was an RPG. Let's go. Another RPG. That sounded like it missed horribly. Ah, okay, look at that. Reinforcements coming from behind. Supporting our attack here. By the way, if you want to know what mods I'm using, you can check that out in the video description. It's a comprehensive list. Let's keep going. I'll go in here and clear the church grounds. I see some guys down here. That's nice. I hear voices from ahead. He was there in that little hut. I think he's dead. He should be dead. Multiple guys fired at him. Oh my god, they killed a priest.
Christ, even the priest.
This is a good little window. Can't see anything there. So we are continuing. This guy was unarmed. They have been killing civilians. Oh my god. Okay, those are enemies on the ground. That's our work. Gotta make sure that no enemy is hiding somewhere. A Chernarus flag. I guess the people living in this village were Chernarus, not Zagorians. I guess that's why they were targeted. Oh man. Civil war is just always nasty business. There's another house down there. I think that's the last house of the village ahead of us. Let's check it out. Enemy. In the house. I think we got him.
Poker, Pioneer. There's no more resistance in the village, but we can see more smoke coming from the south. How copy? Over.
Yeah, I saw something that way.
Try and see if you can get a visual where the smoke is coming from. Pioneer
Yeah,
team
there.
will remain and secure the village together with the armor. Over.
Copy that, Poker. Pioneer 1 is moving.
Yeah, we see more smoke rising that way, you can see it there. So our next task is to investigate that smoke. You can see smoke to yourself, see if you can get the visual where the smoke is coming from. Yeah, I think we'll basically move down this way, move down the road. That sounds sensible. I could also move some men down here to this little hilltop. Maybe that could be a good position for a machine gun and an assistant for the machine gun. By the way, machine gunner, how many rounds do you still have? Do I need to find you more ammunition? I sure do. He basically has one more magazine and a little bit that he has in his current belt. So, maybe... where's our BTR? Maybe the BTR has some ammunition on board that we can use. There it is. There's also a machine gun on the ground here. So one of these enemies was a machine gunner. But let's first have a look in the BTR. I think the BTR has some ammunition. Let's take a quick look. Inventory. Indeed. There are a few magazines here. 4, I want you to move here. Hurry up. There he is. Let's see. Inventory. He should now run to the closest object, which is the BTR, and open the inventory of that, and then I can rearm him. Yeah. There goes one magazine, and here's another. That he can load directly into the weapon, and now he's full again. Okay guys, we will move out. As I said, I think I'll move my guys down the road, but I might send the machine gunner together with 1 or 2 more men to this outcropping. I'll have a look at that from up here from the village just to see how that looks, if that is feasible or if I'm basically sending him into a position that is way too exposed. My guys will follow me. There we go. Come on, guys. Oh, and by the way, let me know in the comments what you think of a campaign in this setting and, well, of basically seeing armor on the channel again. It hasn't been there for a long, long time. And, well, I still did not finish some of the campaigns. The official ones, I mean. There's still the Old Man campaign that I could play, which is a very interesting one. I'm not sure about this. This could just be way too open and dangerous for a few men that I send off on their own. On the other hand, a machine gun up here can cover this whole area, basically. I think I'll do it. But I'll send a little team. 4, 5, 6. I want you guys to go here. Actually, I'll move you around. Go into that tree line first. Everybody is ordered to hold fire. But you will fire on my command. So as soon as I fire a shot, everybody else will open up too. Okay, I've sent those guys to that flank. I'm taking 3 more guys with me. We are going down there via this road. Stay behind me. Yeah, as I was about to say, let me know in the comments what you think of this. Let me know if you like what you see here in this campaign. And, well, for me, it's just the whole aesthetic and the vibe. This 90s style kit. The whole backstory that we see here with the Civil War. I believe that the setting that Arma 2 introduced with the main campaign, with the main story, has not really it hasn't been really explored too well. I think it is a very rich backstory that it has with a lot of great potential. But unfortunately the Arma 2 campaign itself, well, let's just say that it was very, very ambitious. They had some great ideas. However, when the game released, Arma 2 that is, it was in a really piss-poor state. Really, really poor. There were so many performance issues and bugs. And that of course impacted the campaign as well. Stay a little low, guys. That of course impacted the campaign as well, extremely negatively. Because there were just some missions in that campaign that were, well, ambitious. Ambitious is the right word actually. They were very ambitious, they were grand. And that just didn't work. And then, to top it all off, the last 2 missions of the campaign, I think, where they were insane in the sense that Bohemia Interactive really tried to show off High Command, which is a function that allows you to not only command your guys in your own squad, but allows you to command multiple squads. And in the final mission of the campaign, the task was basically to conquer the whole map. There were outposts everywhere. It was basically a little bit like a strategy game even. And the task was to conquer the whole map with lots and lots and lots of units that you could buy. And it was just too much for most PCs in combination with the performance of the game at the time. Completely breaking the mission usually. And I don't think many people finished the Harvest Red campaign. Although it was a very, very interesting one. It is basically about, well, civil wars raging in the country. The CHDKZ has pushed the government troops basically out of the whole region. And a United States Marine Expeditionary Unit is moving in to secure the situation, to prevent war crimes from happening. And, well, they do that, but it all turns into a huge clusterfuck. Okay, guys, I want you to go prone, because I will be placing you here up on a hill. I'm second guessing myself now. Ah well. You go there. You know what? Machine gunner, I want you here. You to his left and his right. My own guys. We are closing in on the smoke, which is over there. There seems to be a village here. Who knows what we'll find? Probably enemies. So let's be a little bit careful about this whole thing. Yeah, Harvest Red and Arma 2. It was a really good campaign. Later on, when the game got fixed and when people started to have PCs that could actually play that game and that campaign, it had some really amazing missions. The Manhattan mission, I think I'll remember forever. It was basically a mission where they let you loose in a whole region up here in the north, centered around an American FOB, and you could basically free roam the region, and you had multiple tasks that you needed to fulfill, like, for example, with enemies. Like, for example, finding and arresting a weapons smuggler who was helping the enemies, investigating things, speaking to people. That was amazing. Okay, I'm not receiving anything from them up here, so they still can't see the enemies down there. I will have to move them a little bit closer. 4, move up. 5, move up. 6, move up. Move a little bit closer. I need you to get eyes on. Might have to move you a little bit too close for my liking. Okay, does anybody have eyes on? How far away is that? 1 to about 300 meters. That's close. That's the enemy can shoot comfortably back at them distance. I might have to get a little bit closer even, because so far, nothing. Yeah, that might be required. 4, continue to move up a little bit. 5, move closer. 6, move closer. Everybody else, I want you to stop for now. I'll move closer on my own, just for a moment. See if I can spot something. Yeah, a smoking village. Still nothing from the machine gun team. Move. I don't want to move them closer, to be honest. This is already getting risky as hell. But I don't see anything. We spotted one enemy briefly, and that's it. If I want to continue, I fear that I have to cross this open ground to that tree line over there. which I'm not a fan of. I could first try to go to this low wall ahead of me. That might give me eyes or further into the village. Let's do that. Okay. Still nothing to see here. There, movement. I see a movement. An armed man.
Противник, вражеский солдат. 200 метров впереди.
Let me get down. My guys are spotting them. These ones up there aren't. Is that because they are behind something, some outcropping? Might be. But I think I actually need to move the machine gun a little bit closer.
200 метров вправо. 5. Двигайтесь 300 метров вправо. 6. Двигайтесь 200 метров вправо. Вас понял.
They're moving up. And that enemy infantry patrol seems to be moving away from us right now. So I want my guys down here to
Белая команда.
follow me. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer before we kick things off. I thought these guys should have line of sight, but apparently not. I might just move them closer if necessary. My guys are with me. We are moving up. Should we cross the road? Yeah, I think we should. Let's get into the trees. There's a car there. Multiple cars. Come on. Cross into the trees with me. He's covering. I'm covering you. Come on. Let's keep going. Okay, we're in the trees. That's good. I want you guys to my sides. Okay, the other group has contacts now, coming towards us on the road. They can cover that road. That's good. That's very good to know. Let's wait here for a moment for the enemy group to turn around. Looks like they're walking a patrol in circles here. As soon as they have turned around, we are moving in. When will they be turned around? I hope right about now. As soon as I open up, everybody will be free to fire, so including the other team on the hill. We'll give the enemies hell. Okay, let me go up here carefully. Getting eyes on the buildings. Okay, looks like we are coming up immediately to... what is this? Ruins? Ruins. Oh, that's ominous. But okay, looks like we're here. Okay, everybody, open up.
Красная команда! Открыть огонь!
The machine gun should start to open up now. Yeah, it does. Nice. They should be able to sweep the road.
Отступай!
3 is wounded.
Ваш, понял! Что? Готов!
You guys, I want you to stay with me.
Верни строй! Готов! Готов!
The machine gun fire is very nice. That's helping.
Жду приказов.
Looks like they're targeting the ruin of the church over there.
Готов!
And they killed an enemy marksman. Very nice.
Выдвигайся!
Contact to our immediate front.
Прикрой меня!
Looks like they're targeting that little wooden shed.
Готов!
Let me cautiously move closer. Is there an enemy ahead of us? Apparently there is.
Прикрывай огнем!
I don't see him though. Maybe he's down.
Выдвигаемся!
Careful guys, careful. No, there was nobody in the wooden shack. Maybe behind it. And once again I see dead civilians.
Пошли!
Looks like the church has been burned.
Солдат! 100 метров! Слева! Времени щемит тут! Иди, я
Where is he?
прикрою! Солдат! 75 метров! Влево! Цель поражена!
That way.
Противник! Хорошо! Пошли!
There he was. Hiding in the house.
Готов!
House is clear, but my god, what has happened here?
Выдвигаемся! Белая команда! Отступай!
Follow me guys.
Стрелок!
Another enemy somewhere? Okay, in the church grounds. He's dead, okay. The soldiers search through the smoking remains of the village looking for survivors. It's a massacre. There are dead people everywhere. From the rubbles of the church they can hear a moan, and they uncover a badly injured man.
Чисто!
Well, I guess he's lucky he survived that.
Are you all right? Can you tell us what happened here?
The Chudaki came. They rounded up all the Chernarus in the village. They killed them all, even the women and children.
I promise, they won't get away with this. Could you tell me the name of this village?
Kumirna, or at least it was.
Listen, I need you to head to Novy Sobor. There are more soldiers there. We will deal with these bandits.
Yeah, this campaign deals with some heavy stuff.
Пошли!
Poker, this is Pioneer 1. We found what appears to be a mass grave in a village called Kumirna. The Chudaki has burned it to the ground. We found a survivor in the ruins. He's heading your way. Over.
Copy that, Pioneer 1. We'll deal with it later. We are preparing to advance further. Regroup with your platoon at the new staging area at 088064. You'll receive new orders when you get there.
Regroup at Point Orsia, which is up there at the main road.
I'm never getting that image out of my head. How can someone do such a thing?
That's a good question, but yeah, unfortunately, it has happened too many times in human history. Go to the new staging area at grid 088064 to regroup with the rest of the platoon and receive new orders from command. So we are basically going up this road and then turning right at the main road. Let's move out. Let's leave the sorry ruins of this place behind. The village and its people destroyed. just because of who they were. As I said, Arma 2's backstory, it has potential. It has a lot of potential. And as I was about to tell you earlier, yeah, the Mission Manhattan, really, really awesome in that campaign in Harvest Red. Such a great mission. You're basically giving full freedom to approach the objectives as you see fit. And that is just so different to most other games out there. It's very refreshing. And it was very fun when it worked. Unfortunately, when the game was released, triggers in that mission often didn't work. It was a very complicated mission to build. Triggers often didn't work, and well, sometimes you got a message that you failed an objective and you didn't even know the objective existed because the triggers there that were supposed to lead you to events that gave you intel on that objective never fired, and well, things happened without you. And it was very weird and I think very frustrating for most people who played it at that time. But later, when the game was properly patched and so, and well, you could run it on a modern PC, it was a very fun mission. I'm actually quite sad that nobody, so far, that nobody made a remake of the Harvest Red campaign in Arma 3. Very saddened by that. We have remakes for all other campaigns, for the previous games. We have a remake for the very old Operation Flashpoint, and the expansions too, by the way. I think we do have a remake for the Arma 1 campaign, although I'm not 100% sure on that. We had an Arma 2, I'm not 100% sure if we have an Arma 3. And there's no remake for Harvest Red. Although it was a very nice campaign, very much let down by bugs, hordes of bugs, and by performance issues, and then at the end of the campaign by overly ambitious mission design. In particular, the final mission of the campaign was just insane and stupid. They should not have done that. Absolutely not. They should have broken up the objectives that you get during the final mission. They should have broken that up into single missions. For example, you have an objective to capture the leader of this rebellious group, and that appears at some point during that huge battle for the whole region, and it's just too overwhelming, and most PCs at some point simply caved in. It was too much. It was too much for many PCs even later on when the game was properly patched. They were absolutely insane to introduce a mission like that at the end of the campaign. It was very dumb. But I would absolutely love to see somebody make the effort to port the Arma 2 campaign to Arma 3, or maybe Arma 4 when it releases, and to basically just approach the final mission in a different way. Make it a series of single missions, with some big fights maybe or something like that, but not the whole country-spanning war. That was absolutely insane. Okay. More reinforcements have arrived. A few BMPs. Nice. And we are to link up with them.
This is Pioneer 1. We're in position, waiting for orders.
Pioneer, be advised. We've observed moderate radio chatter from the village down the slope just east of your position. Could be where these two attacks were planned. Your orders are to clear that village. The BMPs will set up blocking positions further down the road to seal off the area, while your platoon will conduct a sweep of the village. How copy? Over.
Understood, Poker. We'll sweep the village. Pioneer 1 out.
Okay, I can use 001 to start the general attack. Good. But first I might want to get myself into a better position. So I have infantry here. They will probably advance through the woods like this. Maybe what I'll do is go down the road to a point here or so and advance down this way, so that we attack the village from more or less two directions. I think we'll do that. So let's continue down the road. The village is down there in that valley. By the way, Chernarus is an absolutely beautiful map, isn't it? One of my favorite maps in Arma. Absolutely. These rolling hills and forests, they are just really, really nice to look at. And well, they nailed it with this map pretty much. This map is created or modeled after a region in Czechia, a real-life region. So these hills and valleys and forests, they do exist in real life more or less as you see them here in the game. I have actually been to that region. I was driving to Prague a few years ago, quite a lot of years ago by now. And on my way I came through this region, and so I decided, you know what, I'll take a ride through it. Got off the motorway and just drove around a bit, and it was really, really nice. I even went to... wait, let me show you. I even went to... where is it? To this castle here. To this ruined castle, this castle ruin. Very, very awesome view from up there, from that hill. Really nice. I very much enjoyed that. The roads, if you're not on one of the main roads, the roads are narrow, and the Czechs, they drive like crazy. So you have to be a little bit careful. But yeah, the Czechs, they are very, very nice people, very friendly. And it was an absolute pleasure to visit the country. I should do it again someday. I really should. If you have the chance, maybe if for those of you who may live in the east of Germany, absolutely go there. To help you find it on the map, I think Chernarus here in the game is called Ústí nad Labem, something like that. So search for that town and you'll see where Chernarus is. By the way, in real life there of course isn't a sea, there is a river. So Ústí nad Labem is actually Ústí on the Elbe River, Labem in Czech, I guess. I wanted to spare you a few minutes of us trudging through the forest here, but we are actually spotting a first contact. We have seen a heavy machine gun down there in the village. Oh, that's a nasty piece of kit. Let's see if we can get a bit closer. Get into a good position, and we'll then call the attack. But yeah, I'm already pretty close to the village, and the others, they will need some time to arrive. So I'm gonna call the attack very soon now. I think actually now.
Pioneer Actual to all Pioneer squads. Move out.
Units have been added to your commands. Oh yeah, this is actually the high command stuff that I was talking about earlier. You see here, I have now command over these 2 squads. But yeah, in the final mission of the Harvest Red campaign, it was not just 1 or 2 or 3 squads that you got in addition to your own. It was as many as you wanted. You could buy them, you could buy tanks, artillery, infantry, whatever. There was a whole selection of stuff you could buy. Aircraft, helicopters, everything. It was a full-on war over control of every single town and village of this map. It was simply too much. Cool concept. In theory and practice, flawed beyond belief. Fan out. We are, I think, close to the edge of the forest, so we'll have to be... Oh yeah, we are. Everybody, go prone. I don't want to be seen before I'm ready to be seen. Let's maybe first spot something to immediately take out as we open fire. In the distance I hear the BMPs rumbling along. They are driving to the blocking position here, making sure that no reinforcements can come to the village from that direction. We are just getting into a good position here. I see something, I think. Yeah, there's a guy looking up towards the forest. I'll soon have him in my sights. Yeah, armed man. Enemy. Let me get next to this tree here. Shield myself from view a little bit. Yeah, I got you.
Вижу вражеского стрелка. 200 метров впереди.
Don't see anything else right now. But my men are spotting targets too. We have multiple enemies spotted. And our friendly guys, they are currently moving in. I think they will engage any moment now. And as soon as they do, we will do so too. Everybody's ready to fire. I'm just waiting for the first shots. For everybody's attention to shift to the left. Come on. I still hear the BMPs rumbling behind me. Okay, there we go. Shots fired. Let's wait for a moment. And fire. Damn, that guy fell over like a sack of potatoes. Nice one. Yeah, okay. I'm all for that. Give him hell. Okay, I think we need to move in. Oh, he's down. I'll throw a smoke grenade. And I'll try to help him. We lost 5. No, 4. We lost our machine gunner. That's bad. We are taking losses up here. 6 is wounded too. He's down. I hear heavy machine gun shooting. Maybe that's what's targeting us. Come on. Need to get this guy up. Somebody is most certainly targeting us. There we go. Somebody is shooting at me, I just can't see where the shots are coming from. Somewhere that way. There, behind the bush. I thought. Okay, everybody. We need to start advancing. Six is down. We lost 2 men so far. That's a lot for a small group like ours. I'll clear the house here. My men are following. Sounds like I'm having contact from just beyond this little ridgeline here. I can see down into the village. Those are friendlies advancing. Enemies down there. Looks like we might have a bunch of enemies that way. Let's throw a few hand grenades. That's why we have them after all. Let's move down there. He's dead, okay. The heavy machine gun has been taken out, that's good. That's very good. And the fighting is quieting down. Either my other squads have been defeated, which I don't believe, or the enemy is running out of men. What are we targeting? That way there. Let's throw a grenade. That was my last one. More explosions and grenades all around.
Pioneer 1 to Poker. The village is secured. What are our orders?
Pioneer 1, they must have used this as a headquarters. Look around and see if you can find anything of value.
Okay. We are looking for documents. How badly have the
There's
other
a lot
squads
of
been
vehicles
hurt?
outside those 2 houses in the east part of the village. That could be a good place to start.
More or less just like our squad. 2 or 3 losses. Okay, we see over there a few vehicles. We are supposed to investigate that place, but... You didn't see that. Let's keep going. So where these vehicles are, huh? Let's search the place. But before I do that, I'm gonna take a few grenades off of you. Because I'm not walking into these houses without grenades if I don't have to. But this one is quite small, there's nothing here. So I should check this house. I'll throw a grenade in, just to be sure. This room is empty. Grenade in. Empty. I don't have another grenade. Oh, but this door is locked. Okay. A radio. And some documents. Ah, there we go.
Let's see.
Search the documents.
Poker, this is Pioneer. We found some documents and a map with marked camps and hideouts. Might be useful. Over.
Excellent work, Pioneer. Bring those documents back to base. Battalion will want to take a look at them. Another thing, that mass grave you found. We'll make sure the journalist tells the world of this. You did good today. Get back to base for some rest. Poker out.
And that has been a fun first 2 missions of this campaign. It's quite... The firefights are quite tense. They are good, they are really fun. And, well, you can absolutely tell that this campaign was carefully put together. There are a lot of details everywhere. The amount of enemies is not overwhelming, but just enough to be fun and challenging. And I really enjoyed this. So, mission complete. We managed to eliminate 2 Chedaki positions, located valuable documentations and maps which will provide useful information about the Chedaki whereabouts in this area, and on the evening news, pictures of the Kumierna massacre were cabled throughout the country. Doubters grew thin. Our course was just. So in the next mission, I think, we will have to follow the leads provided by the documents that we just found. And, well, that's gonna be quite fun too. For now, let me know in the comments what you think of this campaign so far, what you think of today's mission, and, well, what you think about Arma being once more on the channel. And for those of you, I know some of you might be wondering what's going on with Silent Hunter. So, first I was on vacation, then I was ill, then I had to travel for work, and now I have time again. So the next Silent Hunter episode will not go up next week, but the week after that. I don't think I'll make it in time for next Wednesday. I don't think so. I don't think I'll be able to accomplish that. But the week after that, absolutely. So you can look forward to that. For now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this mission, and I hope you're looking forward to more. Until then, next time, have some really great days and goodbye.